It will be talking about the measurements. So, first of all, I will introduce about the air system. Actually, the first of all, what is measurements?
It's like measured.
Is the everything around us, right? Everything around us,
Yeah.
the measurements. So, I will categorize the measurement. Actually, there is two, but we are the Cambodian people. Maybe we should understand another thing. Okay, let's do this. Only two. So in measurement is anything around us. If, for example, we want to measure the objects. For example, the phone. How long is this? What is the width? What is the height?
Yeah.
How weight it is? Like how heavy it is. That is,
Like we can measure anything basically.
yeah. So basically, we can measure it. So there's two systems. The first one that is everyone use or internationally used is called metric systems.
Do I have to draw the chart or no?
Uh, you can draw the chart.
Okay.
And the second system is called imperial system. Imperial system is the very ancient one.
Is that the internet? Wait, no. Is the imperial one then the American one or
Yeah, the US standard. So the okay,
yeah?
so the official name is the metric systems and the empirical system. And these metric systems sometimes we known it as the international standard. International standard.
But America.
Or sometimes we write in shortcut is SI. Do you see like sometimes we see like SI standard something like that because it's come from like international
Yeah.
standard. Yeah, sometimes we write in a shortcut it's SI. But imperial system is the US standard. Yeah. Why they name it as imperial? Because it's happened in a very ancient way. Actually, this is not US standard. This is British standard. But then, like a US, after they get the independent from the UK, they even use English language, and
But
then
did the
yeah.
UK stopped using the imperial standard? The imperial system or
UK also use imperial system. Besides UK, US, and some few country, they still use the imperial systems.
but most of the countries
Yeah,
use
but everyone use this international system or international standard because like imperial system is somehow it's not base 10. What I mean by base 10 is the different from one unit to the other unit is not the difference is not by tens, meaning that it's not, for
huh?
example, 1 centimeter and 1 centimeter and 1 millimeter, the difference is by 10.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Yeah.
so it's easy to convert, but for the empirical system or imperial system, it's not by the base tens. meaning that the difference is not 10. Sometimes the foot to the ing is something like a 1 foot is 12 ing, something like that. So it's very
Yeah.
difficult to convert.
So they convert differently.
They convert differently. They convert differently. But the metric system is the official, let's say, like the standard one, because the difference is always 10. So that when we,
Oh, what? The metric system is easier.
yeah, the metric system is very easy, but imperial system, we need to remember food to ing is
Oh,
different, food to yard is different. Always, everything is always different. Why it's
oh,
always
what?
different? Yeah. Why it
Why did the
al-
UK need that?
yeah. Why, okay, the history is something like this. The history is very interesting. Like when we when we grow up after many era, we start to figure out how can we measure. And then in the UK, like the Western people trying to, they don't have this kind of system. They don't have the metric system. Metric system is found by one of the French guys in 1960 already. Like in 1960s,
French?
yeah, French mathematicians, and it was found in 1960.
Yeah.
But before that, before this metric system exists, what they can notice is, for example, the length. In order to measure this width, they measure by
10.
the foot.
Oh.
Yeah, the foot, the inch, the yard, something like this. So, but what is the foot? What the foot really is? The foot is actually the foot, the legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the foot. So people born with different foot, right? The length of the foot, your length of front foot is, if you measure it will be
Obviously.
different, right? It will be different. But they want to have something something in module, and we can like have something in mind that, oh, if it's 1 foot, it's something like maybe this much. If it's one ink, maybe it's like this much. One yard is, you see the backyard. So every time we design, it's only maybe around nearly 1 meter. So something like this. So everything was judged not accurately.
Yeah.
Yeah, was judged not accurately until they really need to standardize the imperial system. So when people have different lengths of food, so then they
And
re-
some people don't even.
yeah, and then they realize, so what should be the exactly food? Your food and my food is different. The other people food is different, right? Sometimes people very tall, so their food is a little bit higher.
Yeah.
They find the average of the people, and still the food is still not be very familiar and very useful for people. Then the
Yeah.
mathematician guys designed this metric system.
But
With,
then why do we still use the imperial system?
yes, so everyone is trying or tend to use this metric system, but still America and the US are using the imperial system.
We need to change it.
Yeah.
Please.
Even the US and the British themselves use the imperial system, but somehow different lengths or different for measure.
Yeah.
different measure. So sometime, oh, one foot is what we
It's
call like is 0.3 meter, but the UK is 0.305, something like this. But still the difference. So imperial system is should not be used for my perspective. Imperial system should not be
it's
created,
annoying.
right? For example, what they measure the volume is the cup. So now we design a cup very differently. Now we have this kind of cups. We have bigger cups. We have smaller cups than this, right? Always. But they still measure with the cup, the gallons. We have like one bottle and stuff. That they still measure with that. Okay, but we are not offending this US standard or what?
The US standard is so annoying because whenever like I watch something, I'm like, oh, this is cool, and then they're like, it's 6 kilometers in total. I'm like,
Yeah, so
kilometers?
okay. But anyway, we still use it because of the what we call the what already exists. Like imperial system is people like tend
Are
to,
you used to it?
yeah, people still used to it. Like until now, like imperial system still like people like measure by foot by what. Oh my god! Like
Even
yeah,
the UK stuff stopped.
yeah, we live at these 2023 already, but why people still measure with food? Why people measure with the cup? Like it sounds very ancient. But okay, but only like at US, UK, whatever. Okay. So first of all, we will introduce about the lengths. The length. The length. What is the length actually? The,
Length is how like long something is.
yeah, the
Maybe.
length is how we measure the distance. Yeah, the distance.
Yeah.
How we measure the distance is the length. So for metric systems, the length for the unit of the length, for the unit of the length, metric system, we start
What?
from
Is it like it's like foot, feet?
no,
Like
no,
would
no.
you
Foot
wait?
feet is US standard, right? The international standards start
Bro,
on.
talk to you. I'm gonna talk to you right here. I've never learned metric system. They only taught us imperial system.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they never taught us metric system.
Oh, what? No.
This is
This
like a
is
life opening.
yeah.
Like
This is international standard. So for me, I will only teach this. Like from my perspective, I will only teach the international standard because it's internationally used. This is only America, yes, but you live in America, so okay.
yeah.
But it's look like America is living at the very ancient day. Why? Why we need to measure with foot, with
I
yards?
know. I
Yeah.
always feel a little bit different.
Okay. So the metric system of length, starting from the main metric system of length is meters. Meter. Right?
Weird.
Have you ever heard about meters? Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, yes. So 1 meter is about this much, but there is accurate measurements. Like 1 meter, yes. If you have the rulers, you can see. Or if you have the what is it called?
Even if I have a ruler, they don't. I it's only inch and centimeters for me.
Oh yeah, you live in them. I
Oh,
remember like
or
this
millimeter.
is the what is this called? This kind of things. So this kind of thing, if you buy in Cambodia or other countries, we
Is it?
yeah, if
Yeah,
you buy in Cambodia or other country, we only
it's
have the metric system.
yeah.
We only have the metric system. Why? Because it's very accurate, very what we say it's understandable and convertible. We have okay, this is about 1 meter is about this much. Yeah, 1 meter is about this much. And if we want to measure something smaller size, for example, iPhone, we measure with the smaller unit than the meter. It is called centimeter. Centimeters.
Oh, I know centimeters.
Yes, centimeters. If it's smaller than that, it's centimeter. And if it's that object is very small, we measure with the millimeters, millimeters. There will be like exact units. The difference is only tenths. The difference is from millimeter,
Yeah.
decimeter, centimeter, millimeter, and so on. I will teach you after these introductions, like how to convert from meter, centimeter,
Oh,
decimeter.
I'm centimeter reader.
Yes, this is millimeter. Yes, millimeter. Insert is mm. If we want to measure bigger lengths, for example, the distance from my homes to my workplace, it's very far, right? So we measure with the kilometer.
Kilometers.
Yeah, kilometer. Yes, kilometers.
Oh,
In short, it's kms, kilometer. And if it is greater than that, yeah, there is a unit for that. But somehow we use between millimeter to kilometer, and the main is meter. So meter is about this much. So this much can be converting to any things. Can be the preference, can be the preference. This much is can be the preference because we can measure the table. Any object is mostly this from this converter. But for
you're talking. Is there like something you're doing off camera that I'm supposed to see but isn't, bro?
sorry, the question
Huh?
something that so something every objects most of the objects we can convert or can use the meter to measure them. For example, the bed. The bed is usually 1.4 meters or 1.6 meter or 1.8 meters. So when we can use the units of meter to measure any objects. The table is about 1.4 meters. The
Yeah.
yes. So most of the objects can be measured with the meters. But if
Yeah.
it's greater, very far, we use kilometers. And for
My
the
bad.
small, yes, for the small objects, we use millimeter. Actually, there is even smaller than that, but we don't really happen to use in reality. But the scientific will study that. We call microns, nanometers,
Oh no. Yeah.
yeah, and so on. But what it really is, so 1 millimeter is, like a 1 millimeter is only
Really
how
small.
much, 1 millimeter is only this much. Micron is 10 times smaller than that. Can you imagine? A nanometer is 100 times smaller than that. So it's very, very, very small. But does that exist? Yes. If
Whoa.
you study a doctor, if you want to be a doctor, yes. When you see the particles, we have the
Numbers.
microscope. Yeah, we have the microscope to zoom in and see like, oh, this particle is exists, and the like something like a virus or stuff. It's we can see with our naked eyes. So we need the microscope to see, and then we see like, oh, there's something or some objects. So they measure with the nanometer and stuff. So, but that is not in reality. It really sticks, but it's not just in our daily life. Let's say. So
Yes,
yeah,
it is because
yeah,
it's smaller than a rice grain.
yeah. Our daily life now is usually used between millimeter and kilometers.
KM.
Yeah, kms. But I think these like we can use millimeter to kilometer. I think maybe within only a few more years, and then we will have a lot of units more than that. Not just kilometers, we will have megameter, like 1,000 times different is megameters, and then tetrameters. Wow, like
Yeah,
yeah,
that's like smaller than like.
yeah. Now we tend to go further and further. Like before. Okay, like we talk a lot, but before, like a kilometer is the very much distance that people can travel. For example, before we travel only by foot. So if we travel by foot, can you walk 20 kilometers per day or 30 kilometers per day? I think
Well, you would probably have to take a break. I mean,
yeah, that I think that is the maximum distance that we can travel, right, by foot. But now people travel not just by foot, we travel by the plane, right? The plane.
and cars and
Yeah,
bicycles
yeah.
and
First of all, we
scooters.
can do with the car. Even with the car, we still can use the kilometer. Right?
Yeah.
Like one day, if you try 24 hours, it's about what? It's about maybe 1,200 kilometer. If you always go, it's 200 kilometers. Still can measure with the kilometer. But now we travel with plane. So if we travel the longest distance in the world, do you know like where what no what destinations is the longest distance of the plane?
What's the longest distance a plane has traveled?
Yeah, the plane has travels the route of the flight.
I don't know. It has to be like a lot, huh?
Yeah, it's from the
Like
Singapore to the New York. That is the
to
what?
put it
Yeah, Singapore to New York. That is the high, like what we say, the farthest distant route of the flight.
because it's different continents and
Yeah,
really far.
it take about 23 hours. Take about 23 hours. So it's almost one day. So like even everyone still need a break, right? So like the people, of course, like we need to break, but we can like change the pilots. But even the engines need to take a rest too, right? So they need to
Yes.
transit there and then start the other route. So the longest distance of the fly is Singapore to the New York. Okay.
Wow.
But now we travel to not just the plane, right? Now we discover the rockets, skies rockets. So
Oh, rocket. Yeah.
yeah, we travel from the Earth to the moon. That is very, very far. And in our galaxy, we have like, oh, wow,
Oh,
very,
so many galaxies.
yeah, galaxies, everything. So we will have new standard, not the still the metric system, but we will introduce further, bigger and bigger and further and further.
But we aren't really gonna use this in our daily life, huh? Wait,
We never
like,
know. We never know because like a, like a Elon
are you
Musk.
talking about like are you talking about like measurements like more than 1,000 of a millimeter?
Yeah, yeah, we know, but in I think like in 10 year or in 20 years next,
There will be like more ways.
yes, like like Elon Musk say, we can travel to the moon. So what if we can travel? Really can travel? So we measure by the, let's say, tetrameter, something like that.
The millimeters.
Yeah, tetrameter. So bigger than kilometer, we have the megameter, which is 10,000 times bigger than the kilometer, and then 10,000 times bigger than megameter is tetrameters, and so on.
Wow.
Gigameters, tetrameter. So for the length, not really used yet, but for the mass, the weight, it's already been used. Okay, we will introduce it later.
I wonder like how large of a measurement do you have to use something that like 10,000 times larger than a kilometer
It's
for that to go.
it's depend on the daily usage. Now, our travel distance is, we haven't familiar with traveling to the moon yet. Only one like few scientists they have been travel to the moon. So yes, they
Yeah.
kind of use that kind of unit. But for the weight, okay, I will introduce later. We somehow like people already use, but we don't know. We don't really understand. So for imperial systems, for the length, we have, what do we have?
Uh.
Hmm,
s- s- Oh no, I'm getting mixed up.
Yeah,
It's like foot, feet,
yeah,
inches.
yeah. Inches. So we start from inch, which is in short is INs. Yards or foot first. Foot, write as FT. Foot. Yards, we write YD. Correct. YD. What else do we use in America for the length? We have one more. Can you guess? One
Huh?
more unit used in length when we measure bigger distance.
Miles?
Mile, yes, miles.
Oh.
Right, mile. So when we measure bigger distance, yeah, we use it as mile. Ing is smaller distance. The smallest distance we use with the ing because one ing is about this much. 1 foot is about this much. 1 foot is somehow, if you don't really remember, just see your foot and you can somehow like, oh, I have a picture. This much is foot units.
What if you have like a huge foot?
So then you need to adjust the, oh, my foot is the, I am the taller people, so my foot is not the standard foot. So my foot, for example, is 1 meter, but no, my foot is not 1 meter. Like normal foot is about 0.8 meters, something like that.
I wonder how average of a foot do you need to have for it to be like accurate back then.
Yeah, that is the arguments or the discussion between the US and the UK. Like UK use this much, like 1 foot is 0.805 because like 0.805. US is 0.8, like 8, 0.8.
Yeah.
And no, this is imperial system still like not be used. You know,
We wouldn't need to have this good discussion if
yeah,
U.S. would just switch over to
yeah, they need to. No, they come to the discussion many times, but they still like, I use this. I measure food at 0.805. The other side is no, food is 0.8, not 0.5. Okay, everyone still have the discussion on that, and they still stand by their side, not have come to the merger yet.
oh
And I'm
really?
still wonder, like, why don't they shift to this? Everyone already shift to this, and it's very accurate. 1 meter, yes, 1 meter is this much. This is 1 meters. Everyone use this, but it's still not changing to the metric system. You know, even in Cambodia, in the very ancient day, we also have our traditional systems.
Really?
Yeah,
What happened to it?
yeah. Okay, let me introduce a little bit. Wait. In Cambodia, we also have our traditional
But
system.
did we just stop using it?
Yeah, we stopped using it because we come to the international standard. I'm proud that Cambodia using that, right? If I'm,
Yeah.
yeah, if I live in Cambodia and I still use this traditional standard, I'm like the only person, like when I go like overseas, like
Really?
the only person to use the Khmer standard. For example, you, the American, when you come to Cambodia, somehow you cannot have a module conversation, right? For example, you go to the province, you travel to the province, some people say, oh, I travel 200 kilometers. You come out with, oh, how much in miles? How much in mile, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but all by yourself. So not so good. But come on,
Remember?
yeah, not very module people. Khmer,
Remember? My
yes,
bad.
okay. For Khmer tradition, or let's say like Cambodia, we also have our system back then, but we don't use it anymore. It's
Yeah.
but it's very interesting. In a very ancient day, we don't have anything, like we don't have the tap to measure, we don't have anything to measure, and we don't have the metric systems. So people, like people measure by the hair. It's called
Really?
hair. Yeah, one hair is about 0. What we say, like 30 centimeter or 0.3 meters. This much. So one hair, everyone half is this much.
Whoa, what if they're just bald?
Yeah, what if it goes? So yeah, but Cambodia people, when at a very ancient day, yes, they can use by measuring that. I can understand. So now when it's come to international standard, they change very quick to this international standard. That is very
Yeah.
good. But US still no, I still use food, I still use ink, something like that. So yes, like Khmer standard, Khmer traditional system, we still have. Wait, I write this
I
is
don't necessarily have that problem when it comes to like different like weather. Like if I move to a different country, I remember I had a vacation in a different country once that used the different weather. What's it called? Like
international.
Celsius, right?
Oh yeah, the
But I
temperature. Yeah.
didn't necessarily have that problem because it just like automatically just converted into Celsius for into Fahrenheit for me.
Yes, yes. So like when someone
But the
said
difference is with the little metric system or whatever, you have to. I don't think there's an app for that.
convert, yes, and then like it seemed like you are living only yourself when you talk to like other people outside of your country. It's not understandable that
Yeah.
oh, this is not good. This is not good. And they're like, okay, so coming back for the Khmer traditions, we used to measure with the hair. One hair is this much, and Oh, maybe I write in English but in says suck. Like the hair is Khmer because suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, suck. So this number suck. Uh, Sometime is we call it Jang Am. Jang Am is this. Like the distance from the if you stretch fing, your what,
Fingers.
finger, yes, look like this. This is one Jang Am. We call it Jang Am. So from the tip of your thumbs to the tip of your middle finger is this much. So people like we don't have the tape like very back then. We don't have the tape, so we just measure from here, from here, from here.
So if I just like brought out like this pack of sticky notes, how would I measure it?
Oh, for the what sticky note.
Like how do you measure
Oh,
stuff?
here for example, this is small object, so we use the hair to measure.
Okay.
Yeah, but okay, but this is not just your extra knowledge. It's not used anymore.
It's just extra knowledge.
Yeah. It's just interesting. But to know this is very interesting. Like people born at a very ancient day, they measure with the like oh one hair is this much something like. But for example, we have bigger objects like the paper. Okay, like one paper. To measure this is we measure with the arm. Like arm is this. You stretch your arm, your finger, and this is one arm, and this is half of the arm. So one and a half arm.
What are you measuring? Like
Just
what?
you stretch your finger.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do this, and this is one arm. Like this is 1 unit. That 1 unit. But
Uh,
yeah, but of course it's not accurate. It's still like still have a discussion on that. Like, what is really one Japan? Like, this much? Yeah. Um, John and and another one is called hat. Hat is from a hat. One hat is from your leg, the tip of this arrow to the tip of your finger, like this much.
yeah.
This much is one hat. And if it's the distance if traveled by the horse, yeah, before
Like wait.
yeah.
Wait, hat?
Hat,
What?
yeah, it's called hat. It's look like the hat, but I don't know, like I'm write it correctly or not, because like Khmer we write in Khmer words, and it's this.
Is that English? Like
No, this is Khmer word and Khmer's distance, like Khmer distance. It's just the extra knowledge for you. It's Khmer
yeah, I
words,
get everything but hat.
yeah, but hat, one hat. the the written of HAT is how we pronounce it. So hat is HAT should be hat. So one hat is from your
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 what is it called?
what is it called? Yeah. Ankle, right? Oh no, ankle is for foot. This is yeah, but okay. As far as you can understand, is from here to the tip of your finger. So this is one hat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And one more thing is it's called one Yacht, like a yacht, my yacht is the travel distance of the horse.
No. Mhm.
It's not like yachts. My yacht is a travel distance of the horse. So when the horse is travel like and stop, and then the distance is quite similar to the miles, like but very ancient day we use the horse to travel instead of a
So like
car. Yeah, so
So, like the distance of a horse can go, thingamajig?
No, not can go like they need to break like even people like they walk, then it's time to take a break, a little bit break, and then travel again. And so it's about 1.6 kilometers, but
Wait, so you wait, it's a break for the horse, thingamajig?
it's a distance that the horse can travel and take a break. Like they travel, and then let's take a little.
Wait, how do we measure it though?
It's about 1.6 kilometers.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, we will have the conversion at the next slide. Okay, so we we don't go further. The other unit or another measurement is the measurement of the mass. The measurement of the mass. The measurement of the mass is for. Have you ever heard about the mass?
Yeah, I used to study it.
Yes, mass is the measurement of the weight.
The
Right?
like the weight and
Yes.
like the the inside of like
Yeah, how heavy it is, how light it is. So it is the mass.
the
So
weight.
similar things. The metric system is starting with the kilogram, right? Kilogram. See, it's very makes sense that we have kilograms, centigrams, centigram, yes, centigrams, milligram, grams. Wait,
Hmm.
short is kgs, cg, grams, which is gram, t, and milligram. It's a very small or very light. It's milligrams,
Oh my bad. I didn't think you were expecting me to answer.
and milligram. Even we have very light weight. It's still like okay, like micrograms, something like that. But now we have like a bigger, heavy things to measure. It's called megagrams.
My god.
Yeah, it's bigger than kilo. It's wait, actually like a
Yeah.
bigger than kilogram because like in weight, 1 kilogram is not very heavy, right? Can you imagine like have you ever familiar with the kilograms?
The kilo. Yeah.
Yeah, kilogram is about 2 pounds. Is about 2 pounds. Maybe you're familiar more with the pound. So 1 pound is not very heavy, right? 1 pound is very not
Yeah.
very. 2 pound is 1 kilograms, not very heavy. So for the, for example, the weight of the car, if we measure the weight of the car, it's very far different from the kilograms, right? So
Yeah.
we have the 1,000 kilogram is called ton. 1 tons. 1 tons.
Oh, 1 ton.
Yeah,
Okay.
1 tons. Okay, like 1 tons. Bigger than that, bigger than ton is megagrams.
Megagram.
Yeah, megagram. Okay, maybe we not detailed it on that, but I just tell you like if we have megagram, we have gigagram. Have you ever heard like gigagram? You're great at
We don't use that a lot.
gigagrams.
I've
We
never heard of that.
have teragrams. Before we don't use, but somehow now we can familiar with that because of the weight of the chip. You know
The weight.
the chip of the technology, the chip of the phones. You know, like a small chip of the phone is somehow the very powerful ones.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen like a
Like a
the,
what?
what we call like the chips? The chip is the card that is many things combined as very small piece. You know, like a
The what
phone.
is many things to one?
The phone now is, for example, your iPhone is like 512 megabytes, something like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
like gigabytes,
or
megabytes.
megabytes, gigabytes, terabyte. Now we have even like terabytes. But
It's many
yeah,
different dimes.
yeah, 1 byte is 8 bits, and it's combined many things. So it's now it's become greater and greater, greater and greater. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, remember that part? I this is random. Remember that part where you forgot the name from, and I couldn't remember the name. It's like this part,
Uh,
like this part.
sorry. Again.
Bruh, remember that part where you're like, it's like you're like measuring the old command system, and you're like, I don't know what's called, but it's like all the way up to your fingers.
Oh, this much.
No, the one that's like
Oh,
what's it called?
this hat hat. This is called hat.
Yeah, and then you're like, what's this part called? I figured out it's either called the elbow complex
Oh,
or
yeah,
like
elbow.
yeah
Okay, okay. So this is from your elbow to the tip of your finger. That is
yeah.
called hat. Yeah. Okay, but you, I know that it's elbow. This is ankle. Why I remember ankle but not the like this should be more frequently used. So
I forgot what that was called too. I never remembered it.
okay, so next one for the mass and the imperial system is the what is the smallest one?
The smallest one in the imperial.
Yeah, is ounce.
It's like what? Oh,
Ounce.
ounces.
Right? So like ounce. After that is
It's like ounces, liters, thingamajig,
no.
gram.
Liter is for the other units for the volume, like with the water and stuff. The weight,
There's like a
the weight, like how, for example, you go to the market and you buy two apples and you go to weigh them, go to measure them or weigh them. What will happen? It will result in one
the
one or two. What is unit? Pound, right?
man.
Yeah, pound. I just noticed that American have another unit in the mass. It's called stone. Is that correct?
I don't know. We've never learned about that.
Yeah, we have stone. Oh my god, like stone. It's the measure. Like somehow they can judge by one stone is this heavy, so one stone is this much. Okay, this is yeah still interesting. Like 1 ounce, 1 pound, one stone. Oh my god.
Stone is like something I've never used or we've ever learned about.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, but we still like are familiar with the metric system than this is nothing.
Yeah.
For Cambodia is somehow it's maybe you're not familiar, you just came to Cambodia, can visit Cambodia once, so maybe you don't see everything. But as me, raised and born, raised and born in Cambodia, I can familiar with the for the weight they measure with the what we call tang.
The metric.
Yeah,
Oh.
my tang is like Cambodia when we the tang is a pot, the big pot of the soup, a big pot of
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Fun.
that's yeah,
Really?
something like that is like we can measure how heavy It is. So like one tang, yeah, it's called tang tang. But I don't know, like this is just a pronunciation. It's not like maybe the standard one. But actually we write it like this. Tang. But have you ever studied Khmer language?
I'm studying it right now. Why?
Okay, like it's look like this and this. Ah, different, right? Alright. Mặt thăng, mặt trong. Another one is chong. Chong is
I
chong is the something like the containers, but to measure the right, to measure the right. So like a Cambodia people mostly they work as the farmer and they farm the rye fields, and then after they get the result, they get the result, they
oh, it's,
farm that, and we have to measure with the machong is like we measure with the rice, let's say like the rice.
the grain of the rice, or
No. Chong is like the rye. When we grow the rye tree is something like this. It's look like, wait,
are you talking about like rice fields?
yeah, rye field. So rye field is this, and we have one rye is something like this. When it's go like this and this much. So this is right. When we measure, this is like the right. The right,
Yeah.
the right is not the right. Wait. The right before we manufacturize to get the right before we
Oh,
use.
that's different
That's
than like
different,
when
right?
it comes out
So
of the bag.
yeah, that is something like that. When it's yellow, in Cambodia we have like when it's yellow we call it srau. When it's manufactured and become white, it's called angkor, like
Okay.
angkor. But still in America still call it's right after it's cooked. After it cooked, Cambodia called bai. It's cooked. It's fully cooked. It's called bai. But yeah, but Americans still call it rye, right? Before
Yeah.
it's cooked, Cambodia have one word. Before it's manufactured, we have another word. After it's cooked, we have another word. But okay, all of these things, American call it
Right.
right. Yeah. So this is when we measure this. And another one is called the bow. The bow is how you package the amount that you package. Bow. I will send you the pictures. I think it's very easy to.
I know exactly what you're talking about when you're like it's before it's like manufactured. Are you talking about like where it looks like kind of like weeds and whatever?
Yeah. The weight is the next one is bow. This is bow. Wait, I will send you the pictures. Bow.
Okay.
Then you just see and then you can know like wow. That's why like Cambodia use that because yeah we have that kind of stuff in reality. So yeah, you use that. It's very logics. But of course, like now we don't use that anymore. We shift to the international standard. This is bow.
Yeah. Are you talking about what's in it or what or the bag?
Oh yeah, that the bags. But in Cambodia we call it bao. Like it's you see like that is all one of the measurement. So how heavy it is? It's one bao, like one bao or one bags bao. Okay. Ooh. Oh, I think yes. We have a few more units to be discussed, but let's keep it for tomorrow. Now it's already
Oh,
9. Yes. So I may leave now. And